All right, well, welcome back to the stream. Today we are tackling Yoda Green again. I had a big tournament last weekend here in Australia. Played about 25 games over the weekend. Learned a lot about the deck and have looked at tweaking some of the cards to make it even better than it was. It performed really well throughout the tournament, but there were a couple of things that people have pointed out now that I'm like, man, why didn't I think of that? That's crazy. So the first change you can see in the list here. So one of the things that performed really well over the weekend was being able to play a ship first turn and then pilot it. So that is a win condition versus even a Sabine deck if you can outpace it. So if you have initiative and you throw a Chewbacca or a Luke, you can outpace a Sabine. So it already had dual purpose units in it, like like Luke, who could be played as a 3/2 on the ground or as a pilot. This list had 3 Battlefield Marines. Battlefield Marines are a 3/3. They were the best 2-drop in the first set, and I had them in here. But then, as someone pointed out, is why I'm not using Paige. Paige as a unit doubles as a pilot, and she has a really good ability as a pilot too. She doesn't add +3 like the other pilots to the attack, but she will add an experience on the attack. So if you can play a 3/2 ship to begin with, put Paige on it, each time they attack, the ship actually gets bigger. So it would turn into a 6/6 with 1 damage on it. So, and it only costs 2 for the ability as well. So I like the flexibility there. The other area that we're playing around with is in the 6-drop location. So Obi-Wan was a bit problematic on the weekend in the sense that if I played against Villainy, I was always scared of No Glory. And if I played against a Han Green, it was getting bounced by Emphy's Nest some of the time. Other times it was really good. So I was kind of, can we do better there? So what I'm trying out in that slot, and you'll see in the list, is the Wing Guard security team. Now, it is a 4/4 Sentinel that's shielded, so it does really well in the decks like Sabine. If you have other fringe units, and there are 2 other fringe units in the deck, the Tech and the Village Protectors, it can also give a shield to those units if they are in play. So that doesn't happen very often, but it's an added bonus. So I'm trying out Wingard Security Team. It is vulnerable to Emphy's Nest. The other ones I'm trying out is the Assault Saber Tank, a 5/5 Sentinel. That one has the benefit that it can't get bounced by Emphy's when Emphy's gets played. It's a 5/5. It is good against Wrecker in the sense that Wrecker can be played, but Wrecker can use its ability and kill it, but it can't then double up and do an overwhelm over the top. And then lastly, the other unit I was interested, other than the Obi-Wan and the Saber Tank, is the Mandalorian unit from set 2. So it's a 5/6, and when played, gives 2 shields to a unit that costs 2 or less. So it has good stats. It is very weak to Wrecker. 5/6, Wrecker can come in, do 5 damage to it, then overwhelm for 6, and the Wrecker survives. So I've kind of ruled that one out. So I'm really just playing with Wingard Security Team and with the Saber Tank. The Saber Tank also has the advantage being a vehicle that you can dump one of these pilots, and we have 8 pilots in the deck natively. So that is a interesting play in that as well. I've left the rest of the deck the same. Relentless, Annihilator. I had played around with putting them into the side and putting Scanning Officers in, since Scanning Officers does so well into so many decks at the moment. But I wanted to have a chance at game 1 against like these heavy control decks, and it is a win condition having Annihilator and Relentless in your row and playing Endless Legions. Alright, so let's jump into some matches and see if our changes make any sense at all. All right, let's start off with just a best of one against the Cad Tarkentown, and then hopefully we'll try and do some best of threes. All right, so this hand is really bad. So there's no first turn, third turn, or fourth turn play. So let's mulligan that. So some of the other thoughts in that I had, one of them was when I brought the scanning officers in, it increases the odds of you drawing a first turn play into the opening hand, which we did brick occasionally on the weekend. So what do we need here? We don't need Page. We're going to play Luke first, resupply, and I don't think Chewbacca is very good in this matchup, given that it's Cad, and it's more damage based. So against Cad, we're just going to pass to start with, so that he doesn't get a first turn kill. See what he plays. He might play Bazine. He plays a Starhopper. Let's play that as a unit. And then pass. Alright, can we resource the Endless Legions here? We have a couple of players that we've got. We can either resupply, or we can play a blue leader to kill the Starhopper. And it may leave us open to a Cad unit just coming in. If they're able to get rid of Luke, a Cad unit the following turn and just doing 1 point of damage. So let's see what he plays. We have to try and keep a removal up our sleeve for the eventual Cad. Not the Cad leader, but the Cad unit. Okay, now there are two of them. Well, that didn't go too well for us at all. So I think what we do here is resupply. That did not go well at all, because even if we're to play the blue leader to kill the Bossk, it still leaves us in a very awkward position. Alright, let's get rid of the Eager Escort, I think. Alright. Yeah, it leaves us in a very awkward position with the Cad Bane. One of the options we do have here is to ambush into that and then add 2 XP and have the vehicle sit in the ground arena. It's not great because he hasn't used Tarkentown. So it's kind of matchup where we just want to get to our Yoda turn, flip, and then try and wrestle control of the board back from the opponent. But he's had a very good start with playing, now there are 2 of them, straight into a Bossk, which is going to actually 2 for 1 our cards. Let's see what he does. Okay, so that's good. We're going to save ourselves 4 damage, but we are going to lose a unit there. He'll just play an Underworld. Yep, kills ours. So we draw. See what we get. So Redemption. Not great, but then A-Wing's not great either. So let's just put the A-Wing on the bottom. And then pass, and hopefully we get a good card. We do not, but we have a tech in the row. Okay, the Mist Hunter is very good for him because he's going to be able to draw. Alright. Let's just play tech out of our row then. If he attacks with the Mist Hunter here, we'll play the A-Wing. Otherwise, no. See, that's very good for him. Very good. Alright, so he's going to attack with his thing. So let's just draw. Let's put the Cad Bane on the bottom. And do we just claim here? I think so. Let's just claim. Alright, let me put the deck list in the chat. It also should be in the description. And let me move the video over to its normal spot. I think I've got a score counter as well. There we go. Alright, so I don't think we need the A-Wing here. we've got a few options. We can flip blind. If he has a Zuckuss, it's kind of problematic for us. I think that's our best play. Let's see what we get. Alright, let's take care of the Mist Hunter. May run a Zuckuss into us here. Won't kill Yoda, but we'll be able to take care of the Forlom, and the Luke will be able to take care of the Zuckuss. We've got our rivals for... Yep. There we go. Alright, let's hit into Forlom. Zuckuss has got Saboteur, so it's not good for our village protectors at all. Alright, let's claim. He might hit into Luke because he hasn't used Tarkin Town yet. Okay, well that probably tells me that he does have a CAD unit, given that he didn't do that. Oh, there we go. He's going to do 3. Ah, there we go. Tarkin Town. So that really works out well for him. Let's put the Annihilator in our row. And then let's just rivals for the Cad Bane. Okay, he's going to play a Boba Fett. Let's put Luke on the bottom. We can play a Cad Bane and just say the Cad Bane. Oh, we could say Zuckuss here. Hey, Zuckuss. Want to keep the rotation going. So what are we looking for? We've rotated one Cad Bane. We know there's another Cad Bane on our units down the bottom. We do have a redemption as well. If you're playing Yoda, you have to get used to being behind on the board quite a bit until the late stages of the game. I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe we've lagged out. Okay, pass. We had lagged out. Okay, we've got another redemption here. We're worried about village protectors. See, village protectors against him don't particularly do much, given all the ping, things like that. Okay, so he's going to hotshot us. Do we redemption or straight Ewing here? Let's try Ewing. We might get a blue leader because we've got that extra 2. We don't get a blue leader, but we get 2 sets of village protectors. Or we could go village protector Bright Hope. Actually, I probably like the Bright Hope here. What did we say with Governor? We said Zuckuss. I am really worried about the CAD unit here next turn. Given that we do not have any removal at the moment. It's been a little bit of an awkward match. Relentless Pursuit is not good at all for us. Let's say the Cad Bane unit. I have to get rid of this Zuckuss, this Forlom somehow. Right, let's claim. Alright, I like the You're My Only Hope. We are in a tough spot at the moment. Maybe we just redemption for 8. If we can pop that 4-lom. But yeah, we are struggling at the moment. Okay. Alright, let's hit his base for 1. That's interesting that he would hit the governor. Kind of tells me that he does have... Yep. Potentially did have it. Alright, let's claim. Let's try and get something to get rid of this 4-lom here. What would be great would be a takedown. Well, a spark is no good. Page is potentially no good either. We are struggling a little bit in this game to get any traction at all. It's been very, very awkward hand. We're likely to get Cad Bane for sure here. Alright, let's just heal again. We've needed our removal for this 4-lom. Or even our new friends, the wing guards would have been good. Alright, do we just hit into the jump master? Very tough match, this one for us. It just, the way the cards sort of fell out has been very awkward. Right, Bazine. Okay, let's see if he takes a redemption or what he takes here. Right, he's taken the Luke. Alright, let's put the governor down. Let's call Cad Bane again. Wow, we are absolutely getting wrecked this game. We had a very bad Yoda in terms of the Yoda was like Zuckest out, and yeah, we could not get anything going. Alright, so we've hit Endless Legions here, which is way too slow for what we're trying to do. So if we healed for 8, he's got 10, 11, 18 on board. If we healed for 8, took it to 15. Let's see what he does. We may be able to get away with the Endless Legions here. Maybe he might play something out. He shouldn't, because he's got enough on board. But you never know. We've just hit all our... not had a good Luke at all. You leave Cad alone, you bully. Yeah, the data vault needs to be banned. Okay, so we can... He's going to kill us his next shot, so we have no shot at this. We needed to be able to put the Endless Legions on top of our deck. If he just had Bazine, we would have been okay. So let's see what we rip off for free. It's a Wingard security team. This is too OP. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not against this Cad. This Cad's beating it quite easier. Need to unban Boba 1 to deal. No, I got wrecked this game. This game, yeah, the Cad just got the jump really quickly on me. All right, let's update the score. 0-1. Let's try and get into a best of 3. Well, okay, let's play all the hard matches. Nope. Let's see if we can get into this one. GI Tarkentown. Yeah, that Cad matchup just kind of got out of hand pretty quickly. We had to we flipped Yoda. Didn't really get a good Yoda flip. We needed to hit the Forlom. Would you like to mulligan? Yes. Okay, that's worth. Hello, what is this game? This game is Star Wars Unlimited. All right, let's play the A-Wing here. I haven't had a good start for this one. You don't really want to run your pilots too much because of the aggression. But we've got... Let's get rid of the Endless. This isn't going to the end. We'll play a Luke on the A-Wing here. All right, it's Star Wars Unlimited Jeebus. All right, let's play. Let's hopefully he doesn't have a confiscate or that yet. He may have a one next turn. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's draw. Arrivals. Arrivals might be useful against the GI. Then do I put the governor on the bottom? I think so. All right, we'll claim. We'll be able to clear out the Bo-Katan. And we'll be able to play the Chewie next turn. Yeah, GI could be fast, I agree. He hasn't had the best start, though. Now, I've got a takedown, so even when he does his thing for this, we'll draw. Wow, Spark of Hope. All right, let's put the Chewbacca on the bottom. So it's going to get right. I could spark here and go to 5. Next turn will be 6. Yeah, I think I just take the damage for now. All right, let's claim. All right, so we do have a Luke. So I think we just take down the 5th brother. We'll draw with Yoda, and if we don't have anything else to play, we'll play the Rivals Fall's good, so let's put that just on top. He's going to hit this. What is it? Well, this unit is upgraded. All right, let's just play the Luke down as a unit. All right, let's claim. All right, we can get rid of the Spark. So I think we're just U-wing here. Try and get a Luke. At worst, we'll hit like a Village Protectors. or a Cad Bane. You might need something big here off GI, maybe a lightsaber. Hit the Cad. He's going to force choke. I think we're okay with that. Let's draw. All right, so let's put the Rival's Fall on top. But even if he does kill the Cad, like he does there, we'll be able to flip Yoda, discard a card, and kill the challenges. And then GI will come out as a 3/6. We should be able to just run in. Yeah, let's wait. We'll just take the 3. I want to be able to start hitting into the Grand Inquisitor. You'll get another ready on the punishing one. We've got a redemption, so I'm not too concerned here. Could hit us with a force throw. Nope. All right, let's claim. We've got Cad Bane again. We've got our security team. All right, let's hit the Grand Inquisitor. We can either Wingard or Redemption. All right, Grim Resolve. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just heal for 8. All right, let's claim. All right, so we can either clan challenges. We could rivals it, or we could simply hit it with the Wingard. I think I like the Wingard play. We haven't got any other fringe units out, unfortunately. Okay. Attack with the challenges, and then he'll be able to... Let's see what he does with it. He'll be able to untap it again, and... Yeah, so we've got Jango Fett. See what he does here. What he readies. I don't mind Yoda going back into the row. Okay, so that's not great. Alright, let's just hit his base for 4 then. May have to use our Rivals Fall here. Should have hit that clan challenges with the Rivals. Whatever he taps into, even if he hits our base here, we'll be able to hit with Yoda straight away. Django only gets a overwhelm on that when it's hitting with a bounty. Alright, let's claim. You'll put the challenges back in. Alright, so we've got a Luke, which is great. I think we need the Eager Escort. We can hit into the clan challenges. Alright, let's hit the Django. Alright, let's claim. Yep. Taking a lot of damage. Hopefully we're about to stem it a little bit. All right, let's draw and see what he's got. Let's put page on the bottom. Okay, we could bounce Luke here. That way, if he does the 2 damage on Toro, we can drop Luke back down and hit it. All right, let's just rival the Toro then, if he's not going to activate it. I don't need the A-Wing here. We're really getting in the Starhawk range now too. But we do need some heals. Alright, so this seems like a good blue leader target. Right, he's claimed, which means we're headed in the right direction. All right, let's draw. What have we got? A page. I think we need that. Let's just play the Luke there. All right, now we've hit the redemption. I think we need the governor anymore. All right, let's just hit his base for 6 and push out now. So we can hit the Starhawk and then play the redemption for 4. Oh, hang on, what happened there? Did he... I was looking away. Did he undo it? Yes. Okay. Let's run into the gunship. Makes everything cost half. All right. We can run into the Bo-Katan and draw a card. All right, now we can heal for 8 with redemption, costing 4. All right, we'll draw with Yoda, governor on the bottom, and base for 2. And that should be it. What do we got in the row? We are in Endless Legion, but they're both in the row. All right, let's just hit for 6 with Luke. Let's hit with Bright Hope first. All right, that was a lot closer than what it probably should have been. Probably made some mistakes along the way there on that one. All right, Luke, ECL. Nope. Let's see if we can get into a best of 3. Test out the sideboard. So the changes we've made since the last time, we've swapped Page Tycho in for the Battlefield Marine, and we're testing out these Wingguard security teams. Didn't do too much in that matchup. Maybe the Saber tank is better, the 5/5. We got done by the aggression, I think, on that one. Or was that the Cad one? Didn't do much as well. So I've just got my hands on a Yoda showcase as well, so Next time I'm playing this one in person, I will have the showcase. All right, so we're going to hit Boba yellow. So there's a lot of indirect damage coming in. Keep our deck set for the very first round, and then be able to bring in some of our sideboard next game. So the trick is with this one, I think we need to compete with space early on. We need to handle the Boba flip turn. So this is fine here. We've got a... It would have been better if we actually had a ship to start with, but at least we've got blue leader. He has initiative though. And then when they have initiative, it's important to have something that competes on the ground in case they start with the pride, which they don't. If I claim here, I can just follow him with blue leader to hit that. I think that's better than just playing a Luke. Because if he puts a pilot on that, we start hitting to that trouble territory. Alright, I think we only need one resupply here. And if he doesn't take care of the blue leader, we'll be able to throw a Luke on it and get that extra value of Luke being a pilot, but then also getting deployed down to the ground after it. Okay, because I would expect this turn potentially a missile platform. Oh, well, that's not great. All right, we can draw then, if that's the case. Probably don't need the Chewbacca. All right, we can claim. I don't think we're worried about the soldier there. Pilot's Rose Strat. It works against Sabine. Alright, so what are our options here? We can pilot Luke. We can resupply. If we resupply or pilot Luke, we're wasting 1 mana. Takedown doesn't seem that good. I think I actually like the piloting the Luke. And then next turn we can resupply A-Wing. Alright, let's put the pilot Luke on. He's most likely to play... Well, that was to protect 2 things. IG 2000 would have killed our blue leader. Okay, I think we can just hit base here because he's going to hit base with the soldier. He does not, but we save ourselves 2 damage at least. May end up with the pilot on the platform. Maybe. Alright, we can resource a Bright Hope here. Alright, that's cool. We're going to go down to the ground. We changed the order of it, which is the correct, so I couldn't put 1 damage on Luke. One of the critical points here is the Boba flip turn. We're in our first match here of 3, so we don't have our sideboard sort of tech towards that. Right, so 1 damage. If he has an IG 3000, it kills the Luke, so let's just put that on base. Let's draw, see what we get. Blue leader, not bad. Takedown. I don't think we need a blue leader because we need to resupply A-Wing this turn. So let's resupply it. All right, and then A-Wing. Okay, So here's where we can hit the fire spray to start with our takedown. So we'll take down. Do we need governor? It's a tough call here on this one. I think we're going to try and draw something else. All right, let's take down the fire spray. Okay, let's draw. Tanti 4 is decent in this matchup, but we want to put a 7-drop on the top. The Ewing is really good if you hit Cad Bane. All right, let's put the Tantive on top. Okay. Well, we're kind of in the spot where we do have to flip now. All right, we can hit into his Boba, and then he'll do 4 to us, and we'll hit into his Boba next turn as well. Yep, we'll claim. Have a redemption. Don't need the page. We have a choice here to make. Do we play the redemption, or do we... I think we just play the straight redemption. We're going to heal for 5, 6, so that we're not in Ruthless Raider range, but we will be in Devastator range. Okay, sneak attack, Devastator. There we go. Wow, we're going to take some damage from that. All right, let's claim. We drew another redemption. Let's get rid of Village Protectors. We can heal again for 8. See what else he's got for us. Go the full whack this time. Sneak attack Devastator is nasty. We have U-Wings and Luke here. All right, let's claim. See what he's got for us. Back-to-back Devastators. That's pretty good. What do we need here? Annihilator's no good. Even Luke is no good. I think we have to U-Wing and gamble that we're going to hit something that can block the Devastator, and preferably a Cad Bane. So I'm for a Cad Bane. We don't get a Cad Bane, and I think that's game. Yep. Back-to-back Devastators, a bit too much for us there. All right. So now we're going into game 2. Let's change our deck out a bit. Let's take the Fells. Okay, we want to take out some of our big top end that we don't need. Oh, we obviously need the Confiscates as well. Probably don't need the Fells. So we're at 63. We've got 3 more cards. And take out 1 Endless Legion. Probably the 2 Wing Guards. We don't need the tech either. I don't think they run any smuggle. One Wingard, one fell. All right, let's see how we go this game. Yeah, that I think it was that play with hit us with the Devastator, that sneak attack Devastator, and then followed up by another Devastator. Really cooked us on that game. All right, so let's not mulligan. We've got an A-Wing, resupply, and blue leader. Definite ones we need to keep. It's the village protectors and the U-Wing out. Didn't see any pilots in that first game. We have packed in the confiscates now. Oh, let me update the score. Starhopper. All right, claim. That seems okay for us. We'll be able to blue leader into that one. Well, we've got Page. So Page only makes it a... Well, Page can do it, but I think we need to keep the rivals as well for the Boba Fett. And we've got a good clear for the Starhopper anyway. All right, let's run the blue leader in. End up taking 3 to base. All right. Well, I have to take all that on base. There's no... Let's draw a card, see what we get. It's a confiscate. I don't think we need to worry about that at the moment. All right, let's just claim. A Wingard or redemption. So we're going to go resupply likely this turn. And that'll take us to 6. So it can give us the Wingard if we want it. But then we're also foregoing the redemption. I think we need the Wingard there. Kind of in a tough spot again. Already taken 8 damage, even though we had initiative and we had like board control here. All right, let's hit with the blue leader in case he has an IG. All right, let's just resupply. Well, okay. All right, let's claim. That's not good for us. Now he's brought those chams in. All right, so we're going to go get rid of the redemption. I think we need to play the Luke first. Otherwise, you can just put a ship out. And then go straight onto it with Boba Fett. Let's pilot blue leader. We can then play our village protectors out. Kind of a tough matchup, especially when you don't hit the Cad Banes and that out of viewing as well. So this matchup, the Wingard has not done well. Alright, we're waiting to see if he's going to play a ship. We can't let Boba get on a ship this turn. Alright, I think we can just hit with the A-Wing. No good to me dead. Alright, I think we just claim. Okay, what's he going to hit? 2 damage. Let's put 1 there, 1 there. Let's put both on there since it's going to be... actually... It's going to pop it out. Next turn we're going to be able to rivals it. But we are taking a lot of damage here. So if the Boba goes out there, will he put the Boba out there or will he put it down on the ground? If I was him, I would probably go on the ground. Let's put that on the ship there. So he's gone into space. So we're going to be able to rivals it. We're okay with Luke. He'd already no good to me dead that, so I'm not sure why he went that route. Alright, so we don't need a spark. But we will start with a Rivals Fall on the Fire Spray. So he may have a sneak attack Devastator here. Alright, so let's draw. The U-Wing on top. Let's just pass, see what he's... He may just claim, he does. But at least we have all our mana now. Cost us 5 damage, but we'll see if it's worth it. Maybe I should have put those scanning officers in. He's got the blasters. Alright, so we can draw here. It's only a 2. Let's put the takedown on top. We can then flip, get rid of the TIE bomber. Yep. And we'll hit into the Stormtrooper here. We'll just take the damage on Yoda. Let's take it on Luke, just so that if he does have a Devastator, he can't just one-shot one of those. Right, we've got 2 U-Wing reinforcements now. And then do we keep the blue lead? I think we keep the Bright Hope here. This is a best of 3. We lost the first one against this player. Seems like a very good Boba yellow player. Alright, let's get rid of blue leader. I'm expecting like maybe a sneak attack Devastator. Let's put on Yoda. Let's hit in a base for 4. Alright, so Vader now. Let's play U-Wing. Hopefully get a Cad Bane. We do not get a Cad Bane. Get a Bright Hope and an Eager Escort Fighter. All right, we do not want to bounce. We will ambush. Hit in for 6. Cad Bane would have made it very hard for him there. Right, let's get rid of the A-wing there. All right, here is the Devastator. We are due for a Cad Bane. We have none in there. We have U-wing, so we know the bottom 10 are not Cad Bane. Let's just do 1 damage on attack. Because if we wait for him to kill it in, then we can take both of them with Cad Bane. All right, let's hit into base. And we are also 1 hit off with Luke from him dying in that too. All right, let's hit into base. He's going to have to claim. We don't hit Cad Bane again. All right, do we play two Concord Dawns or 1 Tantive? I think we played 2 Concords. And we can play the Village Protectors down as well. We do have a Confiscate. Has to be able to deal with Luke. If he has a Planetary. Wow, that guy is so lucky. That guy is very lucky. To be able to do, like, if I'd had a Cad Bane, what's he doing? He's left both. There, he has to. Yeah, he's very lucky on that. If I'd had Cad Bane, it would have taken both. All right. So our options are we could Bright Hope. We can Confiscate, kill the IG. I think we Confiscate to kill the IG. But yeah, he's get a Planetary Bombardment off with a Devastator on board. All right, let's hit him for 2. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's draw. We get a takedown. So let's put that on bottom. We can take down the Fire Spray and then just play a Bright Hope. Okay, we've hit the Starhawk. Not what we're after. He has another Planetary Bombardment. This guy has got the draw. All right, let's hit his base for 2. All right, we're going to have to draw here. Let's put a Cad Bane on top. All right. Well, it's going to cost 3 then. Well, Your Only Hope. And we'll take 1, 2. From there, he'll have to claim, otherwise he loses. And then we can play Your Only Hope. And whatever's on top is going to be free. Let's see. We haven't played an Endless Legion. There's not one in the things. Can we Endless Legion straight off the top? There we go. Endless Legion straight off the top. Yeah, that's game. There we go. Didn't set it up, and we popped it straight off the top. And he has conceded the second game. Okay. He didn't want to play that one again. We'll take that then. 3-2. So Endless Legions rip straight off the top. All right, Quinlan. What do we got? Bosk. Well, we lost to a Bosk on the weekend. We got 2-0'd. Let's try a best of 3 again. I don't want to play any of these decks without testing my sideboard. Because I lost the first game and then won the next one, and then he conceded the third. Those Devastators are scary, like off the sneak attacks and that. Alright, that's a very bad hand. It's not much better. Especially against a Kaz. What you want to do against a Kaz is compete directly in space. We are not competing in space. Play that in as a unit. We want like a blue leader would have been great. I just would have claimed and ran straight into him then. Right, put Cad down. I think we can put the Village Protectors down. Hit in for 3. This is not the start that I wanted. Okay. All right, claim. Again, not the start you want. You want to be able to compete in space, and this is not competing in space. You'll put Kaz on and run straight up into it. At some point, we might be able to play Your Mighty Hope. But without being able our units to die here, you kind of get in a situation where you're just not able to compete. Arrivals 4 would be great. I'll just hit for 2. There's not much we can do there. Yeah. Right. Claim. We lose this one. I'll see if we can try and rematch him, because this is not potentially how it should go. Alright, so finally we do get a flip there. So let's hit into layer. Might be able to get a... Depends what he pumps here. We might be able to get a free redemption and a Yoda flip. Alright, this is 7. He might just have a surprise strike to get us though. Or do we just... Well... We could spark, but yeah, let's draw. Put the redemption on top. We'll get it for free if he hits. So yeah, he shouldn't have done that, because now I get it for free. If you're playing Kaz, don't do that. What did this guy just did? Let me play the one for free. I'm going to be able to Spark of Hope, and I'm going to be able to flip Yoda here. And have Luke ready for next turn. Hopefully we can kill this turncoat with Yoda. It's only a 1 cost, so should be able to quite easy. Right, he's going to bounce the redemption. Yeah. All right, so we can Spark. Put page down. Then we'll be able to clear everything but the Kaz. So let's flip. Hit the turncoat. And hopefully we've turned it around. We do have a redemption, and we do have a Tantive as well. Would a Rivals 4 would have been really good. All right, let's get rid of the... No. He's undid the turn again. Rid of the A-Wing. All right, let's see what he does here. Hits for 7. All right, let's hit for 4 with Yoda. See what he does. Okay, he's going to say Kira. That's okay. We've got the Tantive. Well, let's play the Tantive. All right, let's claim. We can hit Kira first. We have Endless Legions. Does that make sense at all? I think the Escort Fighter makes a lot of sense. I don't think we need Endless. All right, let's hit. He's just going to hit with Greedo into the Protectors. Maybe we do play the Wingard here. I think we do. Try and kill that Kira. We've got the Eager Escort Fighters. Right, let's hit the Kira. Right, so now we can finally get rid of the Falcon with the Kazuda on it. All right, let's hit Kira. We can now be free to play Redemption next turn. All right, keep takedown. I don't think we need Page. He's going to hit, say, Redemption again, but now we've got a takedown for the Falcon. We can kill the Kira. This game, the security guards actually worked out pretty well for us. Don't think we need a resource at all. Right, so he's going to bounce think we can safely just redemption. And we can play a governor and say cunning. All right, let's say cunning. Draw with Yoda. I don't think the cruiser's that good at this stage. The Starhawk is, though. Get rid of a Luke. Try and hit in. All right, well. Hit his base for 6. He's 1 shot off lethal now. Okay. Right, let's just play. All right, so that's 1-0 against the Kaz. We had a very ordinary start and we're able to claw it back. Let's see if he wants to continue. If he wants to continue, we can bring our confiscates and a few of our other space sentinels. So you want to bring confiscates. You want to bring in the Concords, the scanning officers, which he had. And we take out the top end. So we take out the Annihilator, the Radis, the Arquidin. What else? Maybe a Starhawk and a Cad. Let's start from there. We just want to compete in space. Okay, so it seems a better start in space. We've got a pilot in Chewbacca. We've got the Concords. Okay, I don't think we need the wing guards at this stage. And we need protectors. I don't think so. Let's keep the rivals just in case things somehow get out of hand. Okay. All right, pass. The Luke unit is excellent here for us. Probably discard the Chewbacca. All right, so let's play the Luke unit. So unlike the first round, we're actually going to be able to compete in space here. Let's kill the Falcon. Kind of 2 for 1, and Luke's actually just going to drop onto the ground, which is great for us. Let's put Luke on the bottom. Let's see if we can brick one of his turns with the scanning officer. Well, now we've got... Don't need the Luke. Will he hit into our unit? He will. Let's draw in case we get a... That on bottom. In case we got a Spark of Hope. We'll just take down that. It's easier leader flip turn, so yeah, we're fine with him just dropping a 2-5 down on the ground. That's all good for us now. Especially when you get the blue leader. So this game won't be close, I don't think. You get a little bit of space, you're able to compete. All right, Kira again, we'll just claim and run in a Kira with our blue leader. We'll be able to resupply Concord and flip to kill whatever he plays. All right, let's claim. we're in no rush to end the game. So you can take your time. All right, Starhawk is pretty good. I think we need rivals anymore because we've killed his leader. We're okay. All right, let's update the score. 5-2. All right, let's try and find another best of 3. All right, we have a Sabine, yellow. So Rebel resource, very good player, and it's going to compete in space. So I don't like this hand at all. We want to compete in space. That's how you compete in space. So we've got, let's get rid of the governor. We've got some A-wings. All right, let's pass. He may upgrade his one. Do we keep Chewie? Do we keep a Spark of Hope? Here, do we keep Page? I think if we're going to play a pilot, it'll be Chewie here. Okay, it's Han. So now I think we can just Spark of Hope. Okay, now we can claim and then Eager Escort that one. Don't think we need a You're My Only Hope. All right, let's ambush in. And draw. We can go up to 4 with You're My Only Hope here. We could put Tech on top and You're My Only Hope. Have a 2-5 out. Do we care about that? I don't think so. All right, let's claim. All right, the blue leader is decent here. The Chewbacca I don't think we need anymore. Play the blue leader out. Run it into Sabine. Okay. We will claim. Coordinated front. Sure. All right, don't think we need Luke here. All right, let's hit in there. So we could Luke the other wing leader and then set up for a Yoda flip. All right, a black 1. So let's draw. Let's just put the protectors on top. Well, I wish I hadn't kept the protectors on top. The Radis, probably not good enough at the moment. All right. U-wing reinforcements. We're after a Cad Bane. All right, we've got a blue leader and an Eager Escort. Which one is that? Is that one? Yep. He has a for a cause. Kind of get done. All right, so he's down to kind of the last. All right, so let's play Ewing. We get a Cad Bane, we do. That should be the game. Cad Bane is kind of what we were fishing for before. All right, I'll hit into there. Kind of got cooked by that the 3/4 that does the extra damage if you're under resource compared to the other your opponent. What else do we want to take in? So we want to put some interceptors. I think some scanning officers. I don't think we want tech. Like the tech was no good at all. Maybe keep one endless. 2 Starhawks can go out. Yeah, I think that's it. Just want to compete in space, basically, against this deck. Probably have to watch out for Chams, maybe coming in off the side. Potentially confiscates. All right, so we do have a governor. He will have initiative. We won't mulligan. We seem to have a decent. We've got the Concords. I think we get rid of scanning officer here. The rivals and the scanning officer. Like we're going to be able to go governor and say wing leader. All right, so let's drop that down and say wing leader. Okay, eager escort is very good again for us. This stage, do we need the redemption? Let's wait. Okay, Han Solo. All right, so let's drop a Concord. He will jam, you take the resupply, that's fine. All right, claim. Let's get a confiscate. We do get a Luke. So what does a Luke do? Takes this to a 6. Might be okay. All right, let's try that. Let's try a Luke. And if he has a confiscate, though, we kind of get wrecked by it, don't we? All right, let's try. Let's hit in a base. Kind of block the wing leaders from him at the moment. All right, so we've got Page. We've got an eager escort that can hit the Valiant assault ship. We can take down. Let's try that. This one's got saboteurs, so you kind of have to hit that first. Right. Is that the second Han? Yep. All right, let's draw. Don't really see him play anything for confiscate. Yeah. All right, let's claim here. We can then take down the Han. Keep the redemption. We've got a spark in case he can get rid of this. All right, let's take down Han. Let's hit into his X-Wing here. Let's draw. Well, let's put the spark on the bottom. All right, let's claim. All right, let's flip. Hopefully we'll hit the K2. We do. All right, let's kill his Sabine. Another K2. Oh, we're going to redemption. He's going to claim. Let's put the governor on the bottom. I probably should have put Endless Legions, actually. We can go back-to-back redemptions. Or does he kill into Yoda here? All right, let's kill Sabine. See if he kills Yoda. All right, he doesn't. All redemption. Oops, 8. All right, we've finished off the Sabine there as well. Oh, that's 6-2 or 7-2. So yeah, Rebel Resource, really good player on Sabine Yellow. I think he might have won a PQ last set on Sabine Yellow. So that was a good showing in that from us. Han Green, so one of the top decks. Let's see how we go against this. All right, so what are we looking at with Han Green? We want to look for Regional Governor to start with. It's perfect. And a resupply is good as well. Okay, do I want a mulligan? No. We definitely put Redemption on the bottom, Relentless on the bottom. The resource row. The question is, we're going to take Redemption or Starhawk? Let's try Starhawk. Now, what we want to see here is they'll resource up. We'll play the Governor down. We'll call Millennium Falcon. So it's either going to be a Millennium Falcon or it's going to be a resupply. If we're right on Millennium Falcon, they'll just claim. If we're wrong, they'll play the resupply. Let's see which one. We're wrong. So it's a 50-50 guess, but you can completely brick their turn as well. Okay, I think we get rid of Starhawk here. I think we open up with the resupply before he can play Kira and block our turn. It's almost as if I'd played this. Gee, what tournament I'm practicing for? I'm practicing for the Sydney PQ that's on this Sunday. I think we just claim here. Try and get a blue leader that we can run into Kira. Okay, well, we had been able to kill our governor into Kira. We would have been able to You're My Only Hope into a Luke, which we may still try for. Okay, let's get rid of the rivals. Let's try for that. I'm going to hit into his Kira. I'm going to hope that he hits back. Yeah, resupply, exactly. Resupply is actually I call Millennium Falcon like majority of the time. But yeah, it has bricked quite a few players, and yeah, let's see. No, he didn't hit into mine. So let's just pass for a sec. I don't think he's going to hit into the governor. Which means we'll just set it up for next turn. Resupply. All right, let's just play the protectors down this turn. It's too risky that he would just claim. Yeah, I agree. I would rather them resupply than hit the Millennium Falcon. All right, so he hasn't killed anything, so we're just going to just claim here. He's going to waylay. That's fine. Fortunately, he takes out our unit, so now we don't have the flexibility of the of jumping into Luke there. So I will just play protectors. I will wait for him to kill the protectors and try and hit a something with my You're My Only Hope for 5, or something like a Spark of Hope that allow me to flip Yoda. All right, so we'll pass. He'll run Han in. All right, okay, so now we can draw. We can play up to 6. So we've got a Spark of Hope. So now we can begin to jump out on the board. So we want to put something on top. Let's put the U-Wing on top. Save our Lukes. Let me know if you disagree with any of these plays, Geo. You have a lot more experience than what I do. All right, we'll spark. We will then flip Yoda. We'll hit the Falcon. And then we'll run in and kill the Han. All right, so now I've hit Endless Legions. We are a long way from that. We've got another one still in our deck. But does Bright Hove really serve us too much here? Yeah, I think the way the game is at the moment, I won't need Endless Legions. All right, he may play a blaster out here to try and kill Yoda. No? Okay, well, we will hit Kira. We're kind of okay with that exchange. Kind of want Yoda back in our row to be able to cycle. All right, he's going to play a tech. Nothing has died yet, so kind of awkward for us. We don't have our own tech in the row. All right, let's just play a Luke out then. Kind of force him to claim. Or, we'll get first swing with Luke. Okay, so he's going to play the Falcon out. We will claim. Hit tech to start with. He may play a Han out. We're kind of getting to the stage where we... No, the Annihilator, we're a long way. It's actually 13. Maybe we should have kept the Annihilator then. Because we could have got to 11 and then with the You're My Only Hope, be able to play it out. Yeah. Yeah, for that particular reason as well. So let's... Bit awkward. Haven't got our flip. Let's just push Chewie onto the ground. All right, let's just... What are you doing? Okay. Well, I think we just save ourselves 10, right? Okay. We'll claim. Get rid of the Luke. City's base for 6. I mean, we're hitting for currently 10. City's base for another 5. Another 4. Like, we're outpacing him at the moment. Let's play the A-Wing. All right, let's claim. All right, we'll swing with Yoda. Or we'll swing with Luke to start with. That way he has to deal with Chewie, otherwise he's dead. Hi, Salush. Yeah, thanks, Gio. Yep. I'm testing out Paige, testing out those wing guards at the moment. So the wing guards really haven't done anything. So I think I'm going back to the saber tanks. Yeah, and that's game. We put too much pressure on the ground for that one. All right, 7-2. So we had a rough start. We started 1-2. What do we got? We got a best of 3 down here against a Grand Inquisitor, which is one of the games that really pushed us at the start of the session. Paige is goaded. Well, I haven't had the start yet that I've been after. I've been after like a wing into Paige, but I haven't had that start yet. I don't think we need to mulligan there. We need to get units on the ground so that we can compete when he starts his attack on us. Village protectors are good. All right, let's play Paige down as a unit. Yeah, of course you would say, Mitchell, is that Paige is the Sabine killer. Like, I mean, if you play Rose, Paige is your best friend. All right. Okay, so don't think we need the Luke. Oh, do we need the Luke? No, upgrades are no good against double red because they've aggression. All right, let's just ramp up. Okay, he's going to play Vader. All right. Does that mean he can do his thing? I think it does, doesn't it? No, it's got to have 3 or less power. Okay. All right, let's claim. He may Tarkin Town that. All right, we don't need Cad. All right, we can just hit him with 3 for Paige. Gonna need a way to deal with this Vader. I think we just play a Bright Hope here. Really need to get to our Yoda flip turn at the moment. And, well, should have used Yoda's ability there. That's interesting that you would play that. Like, why wouldn't you have just used his ability to do some damage first? All right, we can spark. Get Yoda out and begin to even this game up. All right, let's draw. Just put the Starhawk on top. Give us ops options. Want to be able to kill whatever he plays out here. All right, let's deploy. We'll kill the silencer, even if he hits this one here. Okay, we'll take 5, but we've reset the board. All right, you cannot play Tarkin Town on a leader. All right, we have redemption. Let's try and get Paige on the redemption if we can. Okay. All right, let's heal for 2, 3, 4. All right, let's just claim. He's going to force throw. Okay, well, he's going to be able to kill the redemption now with the Tarkin Town. Cad Bane. Well, unfortunately, can't get that going. Let's play a protector and then just hang around. We can use Yoda's ability. We might be able to get a 7 or 8 play, and you'll only hope it. Okay. Right, let's draw. Not good. Let's put Luke on the bottom. Play or Rivals Fall. What am I more worried about? Let's go that one. Let's go the Inquisitor. Not a great hand. We have tech. Not. Going to be able to hit us for a lot of damage here. These challenges. Right. Wow, we are getting cooked at this game. We just drew dead. Yeah, even with the wing guards here, it's not enough. Just drew dead in the middle. We didn't like hit our U-wings or anything like that. I needed Luke. Something. I think this is a match best of 3. So we'll be able to play this one again. All right. Let's play the next game. And let's change our deck up. So this is where our deck gets a lot better against this style of deck. We take out some of our big units. Radis, Starhawks, 61. Everything else, maybe the Radis. All right. Yeah, that force throw really cooked us on that one as well. All right. Like to mulligan, no. All right, what do we prefer, Redemption or Aquitans? Probably Redemption. Try and get our Lukes and that out this time. Let's play the A-Wing. Yet to have the start where I can go A-Wing, Pilot. Yeah, the Radis has been clutch. The Wing Guards are very good in this matchup too. Right, I'm going to put the Luke on. Yeah, Radis. I've been thinking about going up to 2 in Radis. Why would he do that? I just get a 2 for 1. That's an odd play, that one. Draw. I'll see the Wingard on top. I think the Wingard's really good in this matchup. Well, supply Spark of Hope as well. We're going to resupply this turn. I don't think we need the Spark. That'll take us to 6. We play the Wingard and then we go from there. Yeah, I've had some big plays with the Radis and that as well. But the only thing is it's kind of a do nothing on the board to start with as well. Like in terms of it drops there. In certain matchups, it has no impact at all. But in other matchups, it's really good. Like it can, the page on the bottom, it can like brick a Avenger type turn. General Reek and the Radis is kind of cool. Yeah. I was playing Loopy the other day and he was playing Han 2, Red Green, and he had like the Radises out with pilots and he was running some resistance cards as well. All right, let's shield up here. Fresh. Yeah, blocks both lanes, Recon and Radis, yeah. Yeah, Loopy had like the Poe pilot one. He had all kinds of resistance and that was really cool. And then he was playing like Turbo Laser Blasts and that in it as well. You don't mind, you can play Radis for 6 in that Han 2 deck. You don't mind the extra damage on it because it hits on its when defeated. So in this matchup, the Wingguards have been really good. Just waiting for him. He might have lagged out. All right, let's just claim. All right, yep. Wow, this is going to be really interesting, this one, because I can play another Wingguard and I can shield with this one. I can shield both of them at once. So let's do that. 100 bricks his strategy of dropping ground units and then tapping. Yeah, so yeah, Loopy had salvo, so he would have a Radis up there and he would hit with the salvo. Okay. Pass. All right, pass. I think there's any reason for us to do anything. Claim. If he plays something here for 2, we'll just drop straight out. We don't need the Eager anymore. We'll start with the Luke to hit the Inquisitor. Yeah, I don't know what happened that first game. That was pretty ugly. Normally the games go like this against Grand Inquisitor. Some of the questions we've been having is that do the Annihilator and the Relentless belong in the main? So you can see here, Annihilator, Relentless. I say they do because it gives you a shot against hard control matchups, game 1. Other people have put them in the side. Okay, let's draw. Let's put the Protectors on top, which is a 3. All right, let's flip. He can't do 2 damage because we've just defeated. And we'll kill those spider droids. I think this game's pretty much over now. Get rid of the Bright Hope. Whatever happens, it's normally on the ground where he's going to be attacking. Yeah, okay, he's going to just pass, so we'll just hit with Yoda. He's going to pass again, so we'll just play the Tantive. If he passes again, we'll just claim. Right, we'll start with hitting with the Tantive this time. I have to look at getting the chat up on the stream. I can see it in the console here, but I think I might start putting it on the video itself. All right, what is this guy doing? So if I pass and you claim initiative, it's your turn. Yes. If I pass, if he passes and I claim, it's end of turn. You have to be careful passing. All right, so it's 1-1. We got our game back for that one. All right, so same plan again. We take out some of our top end. Let's leave the Radis out. Let's try and go for some style points this game and get a 2 confiscates. Radis out with a pilot. Aquadon we probably don't need. Like a scanning officer. All right. Not the greatest, but we won't mulligan. Last time he had a ship with a beta pilot. Seems to be his best start. So let's get the redemption back. We'll play our A-Wing out here. Maybe we should play the Governor there, actually. No, he's going to... Thought he might have tapped it then. All right, so Bright Hope we can sort of get rid of. Let's say Aggression. Seems to be pretty popular. All right, let's hit his base for 3. He's going to claim, which probably means that he's going to do his saber. Okay, let's hit into the Bo-Katan to make sure that we lose our governor here. At worst, we can spark. At best, we can draw something out that will allow us to... You're my only hope. Okay, so that's good. All right, let's spark. We can then resupply next turn and go straight into a Yoda flip. Hopefully take out that 5th brother. Sure, you can take You're my only hope. We have to spark because we won't get a unit dying next turn. All right, so let's claim. Well, we did say we wanted the Radis, but unfortunately, we're not really in a position to drop that out. All right, let's resupply. All right, let's deploy. Let's hopefully hit the 5th brother. We don't. Okay. Let's see if he kills Yoda here. Doesn't. All right, so let's claim. We can run into it with Yoda. He's basically all in on this. We didn't hit confiscates. We didn't hit anything this turn. All right, so that's a good draw, at least. Let's finish that one off. Our best draw here is if we were to hit a Luke. Let's pass and see what he does. All right, let's... Yes, we did hit a Luke. All right. Hopefully that stabilizes a little bit. No, he's going to get an open fire and use his Tarkin Town. So we do have a redemption. All right, let's play the redemption for 8. To get like a Luke pilot on it would be great. Claim. Not great. We do have another redemption. And play Luke pilot. We'll be 2 actions away from killing him. Get in. Right, let's drop the protector. See what he plays here. Let's just claim. Hopefully he can't break through that. Gonna see what he draws. Kind of all in this kind of Grand Inquisitor deck. Hit for a lot of damage. That would have been good for him before. Be able to hit that. But a redemption with Luke as a pilot is going to be able to knock us through. All right. There we go. All right. That takes us to 9-3. Let's see if we can get to 10. I haven't played Anakin for a while. Let's see how we go. Yoda Red. We don't want any more best of threes. Let's go a Yoda matchup. Yoda Green versus Yoda Red. Let's see which one is King of the Hill. I do have a Yoda Red deck on or some videos. So this is really good here. So we're going to go A-Wing into Page. We've even got You're My Only Hope. I think we get rid of the Tantive and the Village Protectors. This is the one that will have potential things like Pillagers, Force Throws, all the good red units, Crate Dragons at the top. So we're going to have to be quick to, we're going to have to ramp up. We have an advantage of ramping where he doesn't. Okay, so I actually think a Luke pilot is better here. Unfortunately, I thought I was finally going to get Page going. All right, that's unfortunate. All right, let's draw. Eager Escort. Let's put the U-Wing on the bottom. All right, let's claim. Yeah, maybe we should have just hit into the A-Wing while we could have. Maybe that would have been the better play and then put the pilot on afterwards rather than the way that one worked out. All right, hopefully I forgot about the open fire in this type of decks. Good luck with the games. How could you? Yeah, I'll put the Page, yeah. I'll be going to bed after this one, I would say too. Pretty late here. Yeah, I thought I was going to finally get Page going. All right, let us draw. Unfortunately, I think... Well, let's put the A-Wing on the bottom. We're going to need like a low-cost unit for this potential force throw off Kanan next turn. All right. Okay, let's hit his base for 3 and then pass. All right, let's keep the Bright Hope. See if he attacks into the Luke. Does. We can draw. Put the Luke on top. May play a Poe Dameron here. It would be better to use Yoda's ability, which he does. All right, let's play Yoda. Your My Only Hope to pop out a Luke. Let's see if he has removal for it. All right, let's wait to see what he's going to do. He's going to play Yoda. All right, so let's claim. May have a force right here. No, it's a Ketsu. Okay. What do we value here more? I'm getting rid of the wing guards there because I need to draw cards against red. So the game plan is that I'll hit Yoda, play the governor down, or draw first, and then if nothing works out, then I'll be able to go governor, then Bright Hope to draw a card. All right, what's he got for us? Let's draw a card in case we get something worthwhile. Not really. I don't want our rivals fall too, potentially for Yoda or something bigger. All right, let's play this one down and let's say, what do we not want to see? Obi-Wan or Poe? Thinking if he had Poe, he might have played it last turn. So let's say Obi-Wan. Okay, open fire, that's fine. Pick our unit up. Sure. And that's why we picked our unit up like that. Because we took our unit back to our hands, plus we drew a card. And sure, going again. Okay, so Spark we don't need. Now, Chewbacca. We could begin our Chewbacca run, so I think that's decent. So let's pilot with Chewbacca. You won't be able to defeat the Bright Hope now. And we have Tech in the row as well. Can't defeat that. Let's hit his base for 5. All right, now we play Tech out of the row. Gonna play Luke. I think we just claim here. We can then play our new wing guards. We don't need a Chewie out. So we play our wing guards. We're going to get a lot of shielding. And if he kills one, we're going to be able to do our flip as well. Okay. Play Redemption for free. Well, not for free, but with no damage on it. With our tech. What do we want to hit? 2, 4. Let's just hit the Yoda. Start getting a bit of damage on these. All right. All right, now we can draw. We want to be able to get rid of the redemption. And we'll pop Yoda out. Kill the redemption and then kill Luke as well. And pass. We really need removal though. We are... If he plays a Crate Dragon, we're kind of in trouble. Do we have removal in the board? No. We do have a Luke, though. Alright, have you tried Mace Windu in this set? Yes, I have tried Mace Windu in my Yoda Red deck, I think it is. And it's also in... Okay, it's in the Han 2 one, I think, as well. There's a Han 2 blue. I think I tried it for a while. What have we got? We can Wingard again. 8. We can Luke him back out. We can play a Starhawk. Right, I think we just play a Starhawk here. And then our entire row is available. We can play an Annihilator on the Luke. Out of our row. Yeah, so Mace is fun. In the right deck. In the right deck he is. Right, he has to claim here, right? Like he can't just... No, I would have claimed. Okay, so now we can play the Annihilator out of our row, hit Luke. And even if he has a Crate Dragon, we can begin the race. Alright, Annihilator. Well, hang on. Did I just see that? Sorry. Okay. Alright, let's claim. Now we can play Endless Legions out of our row, which is a great way to finish off our last game. So Endless Legions will cost 16, 18 out of the row, so it costs us 9. So let's play that. We can then play the Annihilator, the Tantive. Can't play the Chewbacca, and then we play the Wingard. We get rid of the Luke. He has no Lukes in his hand. Bunch of stuff there. And our new Wingards can shield both of our fringe units. And I think that's game. Alright. So there we have it. 10-3 with Yoda Green. We made a couple of changes tonight. We brought Paige in. Didn't really get her on a ship out of those 13 game streak. But the idea is it replaces the Battlefield Marine, which is a 3-3. I will paste the deck link into the chat again. What else did we change? We changed the 2 Obi-Wans that were sitting in the Wingard slot there, the 2 6-1s. The idea is that we would have a 4/4 shielded Sentinel, which is good against some decks. It's weak against decks like Han Green that run Emphy's Nest, but so was Obi-Wan. And it's not great against the Wrecker in terms that a Wrecker can come in, defeat shield, and then do 3 Overwhelm. Whereas the other card I was testing before was the Saber Tank. Saber Tank's a 5/5. The Wrecker can't do that. It's not shielded, but it can also accept pilots. So that's what we're thinking there. The sideboard is relatively the same. I've been trying a couple more Fell the Dragons against some of the bigger style decks. But yeah, there we have it. Let me know if there's something that you think I should change in the comments. And yeah.